All men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights.
Life, liberty, and the
If liberty means anything at all, it means the right to tell people what they do not want to hear.
Make America great again.
The Big Mig.
All right, welcome back to the Big Mig Show. Here we your host, yours truly, George Ballantine, and only George Ballantine, because Lance is sick. Remember yesterday we were talking about his cough, why he waited so long to go to the doctor. Well, now his chest is all congested. See what happens, people, when you wait? So go take care of your health. Doesn't mean you got to take what the doctor gives you, but listen to what the issue is and figure it out yourself. That's what I do most of the time. But, you know, tip of the spear. If liberty means anything at all, it means the right to tell people what they do not want to hear. And you know what? I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. That's the type of guy I am. Can't handle it? Beat it. Get out. But we got Doc Schwartz. Oh, here he is. He's coming in now. We got Doc Schwartz who's going to be joining us. I'm going to bring him in while I'm talking. Give me a second. Mikey Mike. Hold on, people. That's why it's always good to have backup. But before I do that, let me give a shout out to our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. These 62.2 gram prepper bars, they're perforated, easily broken down to your choice of 3 different denominations, fit a multiple of needs. Whether it be for asset protection from inflation, economic turmoil, or its unique utility for barter and trade, these prepper bars make a perfect gift for all you precious metal lovers out there. They're exclusively mined and minted in the great USA, and they're selling out fast. It's very important that we say minted in the USA because a lot of fakes are coming out of other countries, specifically China. So they're available in both gold and silver. They're slim prepper bars. They fit neatly in your wallet, and the utility enables use in any situation. All you got to do is go to GenesisGoldGroup.com. Once again, that's GenesisGoldGroup.com. Or you can even call up 888-526-7154. 888-526-7154. The link's in the chat. The link's in the more section on the video. You can always, if you have any questions or concerns or anything, you can always email Lance and myself at info@thebigmig.com. All right? Oh, wait a minute. Let me just sing 2 for you guys. I'm going to do solo. Break me off a piece of that prepper bar. Prepper bar. All right, let me bring Doc in real quick. You ready, Doc?
I wasn't going to sing, yeah. No,
I didn't want you to sing, bro. Who said anything about you singing? I didn't say anything.
I sang on my show this morning.
You did?
No, I sang Bonnie Tyler because she kept, that song, Turn Around. What? Turn Around.
Every now and then I get it.
Yeah, because she died.
Sing it. That's the one that sang that song? The one that she died?
Yeah, she just passed away, 75 years old. Didn't you? I thought you guys had dated at one point. No?
No.
No. Turn around. That's what,
Every now and then I get a little bit closer.
What's over here? I see Uncle Cracker, Craig Motley. Look at that. Everybody came over. U.S. Abbey Girl. We got the whole chat. I told him to come over here. I said it's not the same.
U.S. Abbey Girl is one of my mods.
Is she your mod? Oh, boy. And everybody's a mod on my show now. I didn't know that. I'll have to make her a mod on my show, too.
Whoa.
Hmm?
I just tell my mods, if they mod somebody after and they're still modding you, and I had them first, just remember that I'm your first. We rule here.
You're just happy, Janet, that he didn't say Gumad because that's George is I'm Italian, but George is like obviously Italian. He's like, it's my Gumad. It's my Gumad.
Nah, I call them my big mig bitches.
Wow. Or good mod. It's my
in
good
a good
mod.
way. It's all in a good way though. The ladies they're awesome ladies. They're kick ass. Listen, they take their time out of their personal to help us out. So always much appreciated. Anything I could do for them, I'll do it. And if anybody comes at them incorrectly, whether it be here anywhere, they're gonna have a problem.
Speaking of people on your show, and now I know you didn't really you weren't a fan of doing the radio every week, and you're busy. You're a busy guy. So of course Lance said, "Can you fill in for George?" And I was like, "All right." So now I'm stuck doing this radio show with Lance, which he was completely fine yesterday. Not a sickness, not a nothing. And I had just told my audience this morning. I said I was thinking about calling in fake sick. I said, but then I'm going to be on the Big Mig. I said, so if you saw me on the Big Mig and then you knew I called out fake sick, you'd catch me. But I think Lance is calling out fake sick.
Actually, no, because I spoke to him this morning. He sounds terrible. So when you talk to him, you notice how he's been coughing?
I mean, I didn't, I didn't really notice.
Well, anyway, this has been going on for months with him, this coughing stuff and all that. And it's just getting worse. And like, tell him, go to the freaking doctor, man. Yeah. I don't know. He gets lazy or complacent, whatever it is. I'm going to say lazy. And then finally, because when I was on the phone with him the other day, I made an appointment I have trigger finger. So I just did it online. I'm like, my appointment's done. He goes, oh man, I got to do that. I said, yeah, you got to do it. Finally, he did it. And now, look, today it's worse. I mean, figure out what's going on.
Well,
and then try to fix it.
And here's my problem. Now, I'm very concerned, not just for Lance, but if Lance were to pass away, now I'm the only one.
Say that?
Because everybody dies, George. Everybody dies. Now, I don't want to be the only one stuck doing the radio show. So hashtag everybody Lance, live long Lance. We need Lance live long because I can't be doing the radio show by myself because I don't even know what the hell I'm doing on that show. I don't know.
Lance could do, but I've done it a bunch of times by myself when he was out or something. That's the thing. See, I could do the show, this and that by myself, but he can't.
We had a producer Liz yesterday, and Liz is in Florida somewhere, and I said
the stuff they do, I do myself for the show. I don't involve them. It's just me, Lance, and that's it.
Well, we had Liz, which was nice because Liz was nice producer. Never met her. She's in Florida, and Lance says, you ever come in the show? And she goes, no, I'm not really that kind of person. And I said, I'm going to bring you in the show. And then, we were talking about C-sections. So I'm like, well, Liz, you've had like 14 C-sections.
You didn't say that to her.
Oh, I had to. It was, because you got to have that little levity on the show. Otherwise,
Liz is young. I think she's like
19. Yeah. She has a 1-year-old. She got married last year. We learned all about Liz yesterday. So I said, Liz, we're going to make it part of the show. So we did.
Because Sam Bushman actually warned me. He's like, oh, you got to be careful what you say. She's a young girl, very Christian. I'm like, okay, no problem. I'll behave.
Well, I clarified for the audience that she had not had 14 C-sections. We were kidding, of course. But I think everybody on the audience picked up on that. I didn't think they needed an explanation. No.
I'm actually, my friend called me last night. He's subbing in for, I don't know what show, Patriot Soapbox. And he's like, I'm subbing in. I need someone to come on with me. Can you do me a favor? Help me out? I'm like, yeah, all right. Because it's you. Yeah. Like from 5 to 7, I got to go on tonight.
Oh, God. I'll
2
be
hours.
You're my limit.
I got to, you know what? I don't know if that's Eastern time or I got to ask him shit. I didn't even ask.
Better find out. Did you hear about, I just mentioned that the House is going to vote on this next week to make the time change permanent. So that it stays in daylight savings. So I don't know where you sit. I'm a daylight savings guy. I like the where it is now. I don't like it dark at 4:30 in the afternoon here in New Jersey.
I like the way it is now too.
All right. Well, so you and I are on the same page, and they're going to make it permanent.
Are they voting on it next week?
Just a headline. They talked about it last week. Trump is in support of it. The Senate was in support, and then the House. The headline. Well, I'm watching this video. I didn't want to come off the video because now if I tell you the headline, but the headline was they're going to vote on it next week.
I didn't see nothing about that. Yeah, but go ahead.
It just broke on Leading Report. I was watching a video. Everybody's been commenting because I'm getting really tired of people with the Charlie Kirk thing. It's really kind of annoying me. I don't know where you sit on this thing, but the evidence is overwhelming. It's not like, Candace Owens came out, there's something going on, and then I got a lot of people in my chat who are doing the same thing. And then Jess Heat, Jess Heat, she brought up the video with Charlie's shirt puffing out. But I'm watching the video, and as somebody who's, a former police officer, I understand ballistics. I'm watching the video. This makes complete sense of what I'm seeing. When that bullet went through the cavitation which happens with a bullet is going to, the bullet's moving this way. The pressure is going to come back, push that shirt out, and then you're going to see the opposite come out the front. Everybody's watching this video who doesn't understand that, going, there's something wrong. There is an exploding microphone, George. And I'm getting tired of all the conspiracy theories because like the evidence is just overwhelming that it was this kid. He's even pretty much said he did it. And everybody wants to believe it's like a JFK type thing now.
Yeah, I mean, I had the original video when it happened, and I slowed it down, looked at it. Almost looks like it could have looked. You could think like the bullet deflected or a fragment and cut his neck and the artery, but you see it. You see all the motion. The shirt go back up. Everything like it's supposed.
You
to.
see the cavitation push the pressure come out here and then immediately come back. That's what happens in ballistics. Like, you ever see a gel get shot, you can kind of see the exact same thing. But everybody's pointing to this video saying, "Oh, it proves no, it actually proves that a bullet killed Charlie Kirk. It wasn't an exploding microphone."
Oh, Holly got it pinned in the chat finally. Good girl, Holly. So. Speaking, like, what I don't understand, I don't know, I guess it's Utah law. Like, they're doing all these preliminary hearings. Like, he hasn't pled guilty or not guilty yet. And they're showing all this evidence. They have it on TV. I think they're actually, the prosecution is hurting themselves because if a lot of people are watching Utah, you're going to have a hard time getting jurors.
Yeah.
That's what I just don't get with this situation.
It's tough with a high profile case. You're absolutely correct. When you look at when you're prejudicing one side or the other, a lot of people were upset with the judge. And I said, well, why? He seems like he's doing a actually really good job here, trying to be, straight down the middle, make sure that one side isn't prejudiced over the other, because you gotta care about the trial, not setting yourself up for appeal or a mistrial or retrial. You don't want to have that. You want to try to get it to court, and the court system is not set up for fairness, and it's not set up in the way people think it's supposed to be set up. Most people just want to move stuff off the docket, but when it comes to a murder trial, it's a little bit different. This has to be heard. You got to make sure the evidence is presented the right way and you're not given one-sided advantage over the other. But if the evidence, you're right, if too many people see a lot of this, it is going to taint the jury pool, but that's kind of hard not to do considering that this was such a high-profile case. Yeah, but like, why are they, don't you, I guess Utah's different because usually like you get arraigned and whatever, then you plead guilty, non-guilty, and then you go on with all your stuff and how the trial, before the trial preliminaries, but they kind of do it different. Like, isn't he supposed to have pled out already? Like, plead guilty or not guilty? You're a lawyer, bro. You tell me. I'm not a lawyer. I'm in law school. Well, you're in law school, so good enough. I'll read the thing. Hold on one second here. I'm going to read it to you. I'll tell you exactly how it works because it's interesting. You're talking about criminal procedure, which is interesting because I'm actually in that course this year. Law School, criminal procedure. Well, it's funny. I have a professor who's a former judge in New Jersey. Phil Tornetta is his name. Great guy. I have actually, we've spoken. He said, "Oh, you're from Jersey? I'm from New Jersey." And then the next thing you know, we're like, we're buddies. But Phil Tornetta, former judge in New Jersey, now retired in San Diego, California. So I'm like, why? But the steps to this. So let me just pull this up here just so I can go through this with you. But obviously you got arrest, you got booking, then you got the filing of the complaint. You have what's called your first appearance. After that is your preliminary hearing. Then the filing of an indictment or information. Then you have what's called your arraignment. Then you have pretrial motions. Then you have your trial, sentencing, appeals, or post-conviction remedies. So we're still in the preliminary, I guess it's not really the arraignment. Well, I guess he was already arraigned, right? Now we're kind of in the pre-trial mode. It's weird where we are. And I don't know. Utah, everybody, you have general rules of court and then you have what's called local rules of court. So some people do it a little bit differently, but it doesn't usually deviate too much from
but they usually have to put in a plea first?
Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to plead right away.
Like, why are they presenting all this evidence right now?
So it's funny. I don't know. Did they go to grand jury? I don't know if they had. I don't know where we are in this case. Like in grand jury, you don't have to be specific. In grand jury, you can actually admit hearsay. In grand jury, you don't have to put everything on the table. And I'm not sure. I know where we are right now is the judge is deciding whether this is going to go to trial. It's obviously going to go to trial. But you don't have to present all your evidence. You just have to present enough evidence to show probable cause. And then, of course, once you get into the, I guess we're in the preliminary hearing stage. I don't know. I haven't been following the trial But I know the judge is deciding whether it's going to go to trial, but obviously it's going to go to trial.
I mean,
that makes sense. It's a preliminary hearing.
You would think that after all the stuff they're presenting, I mean, you'd be crazy to go to trial.
He doesn't have to plead though right now. He will soon have to plead.
Yeah, but he'd be crazy to even take it to trial with that much evidence and stuff. He's crazy.
That's what I said this morning.
If he wants to take the death penalty off the table, he was smart to plead, guilty and then work it out.
That's kind of the thing, right? Because somebody in the audience this morning in my chat said you shouldn't take it off the table anyway with that amount of evidence, but it's about money and time, right? So if you and I know that's not the answer.
Forget it. Let me tell you something. Death penalty is the easy way out, by the way, because sitting in a jail, especially if they're like in high lockdown unit, it's not fun. That's more of a suffer than I mean, death penalty is the easy way out.
I agree. You and I have that opinion, and I happen to agree with you on that in totality. But some people don't look at it that way because they look at death as being the ultimate penalty. And you're right. If he doesn't want to die and he takes the death penalty, if they'll take the death penalty off the table for a guilty plea for life imprisonment with no possibility of parole, okay. And if the prosecution doesn't want to do that and make a deal, then they're basically forcing a trial, because at that point it's like, well, what do we have to mitigate? So then the defense is going to go to trial no matter what to try to get, reduce that sentence to something less than death or less than life without the possibility.
Well, they can do that, like, when they present their the lawyers, even if he pleads when it's sentencing, they could his lawyers can provide mitigating factors, all that good stuff.
Chris Eppolito says the state shouldn't allow a plea. That's just not how the system works. I mean, you have to answer to the charges. You're either guilty,
the state should allow a plea.
He said, yeah, that's NJ Kit Kat says no plea. But that's not how it works. You're either not guilty or no contender.
Who said that?
No contender.
Who said that?
A couple of people said
Chris?
that.
Chris,
NJ Kit Kat.
If this guy James here blatantly committed a crime, he knows he committed a crime and he got caught. You're telling me if he wants to plead guilty, he doesn't want to go through all the stuff because he knows he's guilty and he did it, that he can't?
They want vigilante justice, which I totally get, in a case like this. But there's a lot of people.
Yeah, but so what? So he's saying he wants a death penalty. I mean, all right, I can understand that. The death penalty.
She's saying, NJ Kit Kat's saying, I'm talking plea deals. No. Well, the only deal they would offer is taking death penalty off the table so that they could save all this time and energy, because we know we did it, and we'll put you away in jail for life. And then, George and I would at least get the satisfaction of knowing the guy's rotting away.
Yeah, he's prison. No matter what, he's going away for life. There is no parole. He's getting life.
Let him suffer in jail. Yeah. I agree with you, George. Let him suffer. You're right. It is the easy way out. Lethal in jail. I don't know what they do in Utah, but then you're gone and you go to sleep. Fuck that. Let him suffer for the rest of his life. The kid's how old is he? 24. Let him suffer for another 50 years behind bars. I totally agree with you. 100%.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna switch because before we go into our full story, I gotta give a shout out and give you a question. I gotta give a shout out to a friend of mine, Ames. She's in Alabama. Hope you're doing well. She's probably working out. But I have a question for you, since you're medical and your wife's more than medical. Mm-hmm. Ever since she was a kid, she's always been cold.
Okay. Have you been checked for like Raynaud's disease or anything like that?
She said she had full blood workup and it's all good.
Okay.
What do we got? Anything? So I did some research on it yesterday, and it says some people are just born like that or are like that. They're just cold.
Yeah, you're ultra freaking sensitive. My grandmother was always cold too. It was like 85 degrees in her house constantly. I hated going over there. I would stick to the plastic on the cushions all the time.
Remember those plastic cushions? Remember when?
Oh my god, Grandma! Why is it so hot?
On the cushions.
A lot of people get colder when they get older. I'm guessing your friend is probably very thin. My guess, right? Because you don't have much meat on you to keep you warm. I don't know. Are you an alcoholic? Do you drink a lot? Do you have vasodilation problem where the blood is losing heat because it's,
she's thin. She's thin. She works out. She does yoga.
Okay.
She keeps healthy.
Well, tell her to do hot yoga and she won't be so cold. There you go. That's from,
do hot yoga.
Hot yoga. I'm always cold. Do hot yoga. Problem solved. Moving on. Next. What do we got next on the docket, George? What's her name? I want to do her justice.
Ames.
Hot yoga. But don't, if you're going to put yogurt in the microwave, it might taste like crap. But hot yoga is fine. You won't be so damn cold.
Okay.
I did hot yoga once, George, and I almost passed out. It was very hot in there. I'm not a yogi, and I thought I was going to die.
Mike, what happens when your hot yoga session is over and you go home?
You get cold, but at least you're warm for the time being when you're at hot yoga. She puts the thermostat. It won't be lower than 77. Wow, I couldn't come over your house either. I mean, I'm not sleeping over. She probably doesn't want me to sleep over, but I got. No. Our Kelly and I keep it at like 66, 7, like 68, 6, somewhere in that range. 6, 7, 6, 8.
Yeah.
69 if we're in a good mood.
I'd be like, no, you better dress warmer because why I got to suffer. That's the way I would be.
Yeah, put on a sweater. God, it's friggin' too hot in here.
Oh man, it's terrible.
Ames, I'm curious though because you mentioned I said Rainier's because I know a lot of people who don't have good circulation in their hands and stuff like their feet. That's Rainier's disease, but this sounds something totally different. So I have no idea. Moving on.
Good circulation. All right, this is a good one because there's a new study came out. And it's calling the woke ideologies making leftists even crazier. Go figure. I mean, look, I've minored in psych 2 years. Do you even need to have any kind of knowledge in psych to really acknowledge this? We know the leftist ideology is making them crazier, but here's a good study. So now they can't deny it. Did you see this? Did you know about this at all?
I did not see it.
So, I mean, we clearly have a mental crisis in America right now.
That's obvious just from watching this show, sure.
And the problem is certainly worse on one side of the political aisle. We know what side that is. To the left. You have two therapists, Mike. They actually published an academic article talking about this. And they're saying,
it's got to be studied. I think at this point, like, I appreciate the fact that there's white paper coming out on this because everybody on the left will argue that everybody on the right's crazy. You and I know that it's the majority of people on the left. We can see it. They're the ones out there with the septum rings and the blue hair. You just had a depiction of one on your cartoon there, which is perfect. I mean, that's exactly who they are. The ones on the right who are nuts, yeah, there's people on both sides who are nuts, but it's like 10 to 1. I would say 10 to 1. And I want a study to back that up so we could put this argument to rest once and for all. And who comes up with the criteria? Because, that's what PhDs do. Well, let's pick apart all the studies. How did you come up with that? Were the questions loaded? What were they leading questions? Were they, how do you base the craziness? Is it IQ based? Like, I want to know how we came up with the metrics, but I want to put it to bed so that I don't have to listen to the left tell me that everybody on the right, because they watch MS now, is nuts, because we're not. Oh, I mean, I am right now, but we're not.
Well, the thing with the left is it's progressing with them. That's the thing. So there's two gentlemen that wrote I'm going to give them credit, Arnold Cantu and Nathan Gallo. They're social work professionals. They authored the article in the latest special issue of Current Opinion in Psychology. They actually provide an alternative explanation for potential causes that's behind the rise in psychiatric diagnosis and poor mental health outcomes for people who identify as liberal or left-leaning in the United States. Ooh. Mm-hmm. They have the research, and it suggests that left-leaning people have poorer mental health than conservatives, the two said. And in the emailed statement to the College Fix, they added their notable finding that has become increasingly applicable to younger generation. And you have to look, younger generation. Why? Because younger generation are easily intimidated or easily coerced.
Easily influenced?
Influenced, that's another one, because their minds are still growing. No matter, from when you're born till probably like 19, 20, your minds are still growing.
25. You get that gray matter and the white matter, and your brain doesn't fully form until you're 25 years old. So that's a great point, George. And then also the fact that younger kids, I think, even though they have access to more information than we did when we were their age, they don't know how to interpret the information. A lot of times they're getting...
They're getting the wrong information.
Well, That's kind of the point I was making. I mean, if you're getting your headlines on TikTok and you're getting some emotionally charged headline and that's what you run with, at the end of the day, all you're doing is spouting out, a talking point. You're not really getting into the minutia, the nitty gritty of information. And if you're getting it from mainstream media, which we got a lot. I mean, when we were kids, that's all we had. We didn't have alternatives. We didn't have, the big. We didn't have that when we were kids. We had ABC, NBC.
You had no internet.
Fake news,
You had the news. You had to rely on the news.
We didn't have internet until Al Gore created it and invented it, which is, thank God Al Gore did that, right?
Al Gore.
You don't remember that Al Gore said he invented the internet?
No, I don't. I know didn't he spell potato wrong on the board?
That was Dan Quayle.
Dan Quayle, yeah, dumbass.
See what I mean about information? And then what happens is all this erroneous information that you just heard just goes around and round and round, and then no one knows what's going on, George.
Yeah, but I mean, like you brought up TikTok, but TikTok, if you give up bad information, if it's really bad, they'll strike you. I mean, X, you have community notes because I'm a community note contributor. So if you put something false up, I'm gonna put a note on your ass. I'm hitting you.
But how did you get that criteria? I got so many people who were flagging all my COVID stuff.
How did I get that? How to get what criteria? How to become a community?
Not you in particular. How does someone become, green labeled as a community contributor? Because, you got all you people out there. There's a million of you out there that are not, that think like you, that think like they do on the crazy left that were censoring my stuff on COVID. So who makes who made them king?
I'd be honest with you, I don't know how they pick or why they pick or how they reached out to me. Maybe they have the algos that check your content, see that you're putting truth up all the time, and see how you reply to people.
Were you a DEI hire?
This just happened within a year, jerk off. So there's no DEI.
No. I'm being
wrong with you?
I'm being completely serious in a context. I'll tell you why. Jaden, and I bring this up on my show all the time, Jaden was in a political group at Rutgers. There were 28 kids, and 23 of them were liberals, and only five were conservative. So he started getting all this opportunity, this inclusion, it's the I in DEI, because they needed conservatives. So now I'm wondering if they had all these crazy people on the left who were doing the job you're doing, and they said, we need a crazy right-wing guy. Have you ever seen the picnic? Get that guy, George Balutin.
They don't want no. They don't want crazy. They want truth, factual, and you have to back it up.
But all the people they considered were truth and factual had zero knowledge during COVID, and they were all censoring me during COVID.
So I guess if you look at maybe when they had all the leftists, they were biased. They would only go after like conservative people. Me, if you're a conservative, you put something fake up, and if I have the time, I'll put a community note up. I'm going to do it on anybody. I don't discriminate. Because I think when conservatives do it, they hurt our movement more.
But how do you know what's real and what's not real?
Research, bro. Research.
But research.
What do we do on our shows every day? We have information. We get information. We gather it. You got to find sources, like legitimate sources, to back it up.
I'm not questioning your integrity. I'm questioning the integrity of everybody else who does the same job that you're doing.
Okay, so you can't just say something in community note. You have to back it up with a credible link of information where it's coming from.
Okay, but all the links that they thought were credible during COVID weren't credible. They were citing the CDC when we were citing real patient. I'm just relating it back to something I did because
but that was back then. We're talking about now.
Right, but the same transverses to now. I mean, how does you can cherry pick articles that support your narrative over something that might be a little bit different? Is it opinion based or fact based?
Okay, so here's the thing. So when you do a community note, in order for that community note to go public to the people, you have to have other community note contributors either verify it and acknowledge it, say yes, it's truthful. I think you have to have like 2 or 3. Before it goes public to people. So you can't just put something up. It has to be backed up. Like people have to see and approve it.
All right.
They have a pretty good system.
This is the best conversation we've had on this show. I think we should do this without Lance.
I was just going to say, because Lance is not here.
I said this morning to my audience, I said, I thought it was you. I said, sometimes it's hard to talk to George. Sometimes I sit there and butt heads with George. And now I know it's not George, it's Lance.
Well, that's it. So I love Lance and I will kill for Lance. He's my brother from another mother, but sometimes Lance, he has to dominate or it has to be about Lance. Egos, baby.
But he said the same about you. He said it has to be George. It's all about George.
Never. I never make it. Listen, I try to keep myself humble.
I'm only messing with you.
I know, but
I just want to make
saying that though, Lance.
I don't like the whole community notes thing, and I don't look. I think if people are dumb and they want to get dumber by believing whatever they see online, even if it's wrong, that makes us smarter. Like, why would we want to see? There's part of me that wants to educate people so that they can understand, and there's part of me that says, George, aren't we stronger when we're the smarter of all of them? When we're more intelligent than these? Why not have a bunch of morons running around?
Okay, so you just said something, and I'm gonna state something. I don't think you just said we're more intelligent than other people. I don't think anyone's ever more intelligent or smarter than this person, that person. I'm going to say why. Just because you're going to, let's say you go to law school, you get your law license, doesn't mean you're smarter than me, because I could build a house. I could do electrical plumbing. Can you?
But
hold on, but I'm just
nothing to do with my education.
I'm just giving an example. It doesn't make anybody smarter. This guy can run equipment versus this guy can't. Does that make him a better or smarter person? No, it doesn't.
I don't base intelligence on that. I go back to IQ a lot, because IQ isn't the measure of like how many degrees you have and how smart you are. IQ is how quick you can get through the puzzle. You know, how can you get through the puzzle efficiently, and how quickly can you do it? How quickly? So it's
you talking about that?
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. Like, I feel like we're always ahead of, when we see something, they might see the same thing we see, but we've figured it out very quickly because we understand how it translates into the last
reasoning.
Yeah, that's part of it. But I mean, a lot of people, it takes a lot. They take a lot longer to get to the point that we already knew, and we're very frustrated. I kind of measure intelligence by that. I don't care about degrees. Look, I didn't start college till I was 26. You know, my parents didn't think I would amount to anything. That's probably why I keep going back to college, because I just figure, what the fuck? I'll show you. I'll show you. I'm on my 6th degree. That doesn't make me smarter. That my pilot's license, I learned more in flight school than I did in any other class I ever took. Getting my bachelor's, my master's, my doctorate. Police academy is like, maybe 20% new knowledge.
Speaking of pilot license, you see the guy, the pilot instructor in Argentina?
I just played it. Yeah, I just played it.
We talked about that yesterday.
Yeah. I mean,
what's up?
as a pilot,
let's take a plane. Come to Teterboro Airport, get a plane. Let's go somewhere.
Come down here. I fly out of Miller, which is the old Miller. Now it's Ocean County Airport, but I'm checked out there. My insurance is there.
You have a plane, or you rent a plane?
No, I rent planes. But the flight school I went to years ago, I'm checked out here at Ocean County Airport and down in Marathon. I used to be checked out at Page Field and Fort Myers, but it's a lot easier if you come here.
If we want to take a plane to Florida, what does it cost?
No, first of all,
no. What? I'm asking. What?
I'm just telling you, because I'm flying a single engine land Cessna 172. Your average speed is 105 knots, which is 120 roughly miles an hour. Do you know how long it's going to take to get from here to Florida at $175 an hour roughly, it wet, which means with fuel? So do the math. If it's going to take me 9 hours, I'm spending 9 times, let's say
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
$200 an hour, 9 hours is $1,800 down. At $1,800 back, we're at $3,600, and it's going to take us a long effing time. So no, the answer is, as you get bigger and you start flying. I'm not flying jets. I'm flying single engine prop planes. I could fly a dual multi, but still, even like a 182, I'm only getting maybe 160 knots out of that. Give me a Cirrus. Give me a Cirrus, like an SR22 turbo, where I'm cruising at like 175 knots. Then I'll be like, all right, George, 4 hours down, 4 hours back, we're good. But I got to win the lottery. Planes are fucking expensive. I mean, just when I was flying alone 24 years ago, when I got my license, it cost me probably about 10 grand, and it took me 10 months to do it. Now it would cost me at least double that. The prices have gone up. Planes were used to be able to buy. Okay,
but if you get a plane, I don't know how many people can you put in a plane.
In a 172-4, but your weight and my weight combined with full fuel, I'm getting maybe Kelly in the back and no bags. You got a weight limit too, depending on the plane.
All right, I guess we're flying United.
I got about 618 pounds of usable load with full fuel on a 172. So if you add up you, me, and Kelly, we no bags. We can go down, like my contractors with wife beaters.
When's the last time you flew a plane?
About 3 weeks ago.
What'd you do? Where'd you go?
I took Kelly up just for a little ride. We wanted to get off the ground. Flying is one of the most.
Hold on. What did it cost you?
I I didn't even look at the receipt. They just charged my card. I have no idea.
Oh, you got it like that? So why not just take us to Florida if you got it like that? If you don't look at the receipt when we go to Florida and let's go.
I knew I was taking her up. It wasn't like I was looking at the plane going, "Oh, Kelly, we got to land in 5 minutes earlier."
So you'll take your wife on a plane ride, but you won't take her on a honeymoon.
It was. Well, that's part of the honeymoon. I've been trying to explain that
bullshit.
the entire time. My whole wife's life, she doesn't realize it yet. She will when I'm dead. But my wife's entire life with me has been a honeymoon. She just doesn't. She doesn't quite see it that way, but she will realize one day. You know, if I was married to George, I couldn't go flying in the plane. You know, I wouldn't be at Yankee camp.
Wait. What makes her think she won't go flying in a plane? Why is she just because I can't fly the plane doesn't mean I can't get a pilot to fly us.
No.
And then her and I can sit in the seat and enjoy it together.
She likes the fact that her and I can go up together and get away from all of you people on the ground. We don't have to talk.
Here's that thing with
we don't
you
have
people.
to. Well, I this morning, the chat and I were going at it today. I'll tell you, right, Glendine? We were just going at it. Doc, would Kelly agree if she were in the chat? No, but I told you she doesn't realize it yet. It's like I always tell you that Democrats are really Republicans that don't realize it yet. My wife has had an entire honeymoon since we got married. She just doesn't realize it yet. When I'm dead and gone, she'll be like, you know how many, we really did a lot of things. That was like a honeymoon because most people will tell you about their honeymoon, then their divorce, their second marriage, their five extra kids.
Kelly wants to go get a honeymoon, like a somewhere away honeymoon.
Where would you suggest that I take my wife on?
I don't know. That's on you. Depends on what you guys like, what you enjoy.
She really
I don't know.
wants
Some
to go
people
to,
like, let's say they can just go to Aruba, have fun. Some people want to go to Hawaii, do all that. It depends. Some people want to go to Paris. I don't know.
I've taken her to Hawaii. I've taken her all over the country. She's done a lot of things.
I think it's more of the gesture that you're taking time. You're going to set up a honeymoon for her and you.
How long does this said honeymoon have to be?
I don't know. You could do it for do a weekend getaway, like a 3-day weekend if you want.
I can get away with a 3-day. If I can get away with that, she's been on about 100 honeymoons already. So that's what I mean.
Mike, but you have to specifically make it a honeymoon. Like you get the honeymoon suite and all that good stuff.
The next time we go away for 3 nights, I can say to her, this is the, because that's what I've been doing for the last 3 years.
No, because where are you going away? What are you going away for?
Well, I mean, it depends. But, see, that's the thing. She wants to go away and be like, well, just shut off your phone. Well, I can't do that because the whole my world will fall apart if I shut off my phone.
Why?
I got way too many things.
Why would your world fall apart?
George, really, I run a business. I got I get 1,000 things going on at the same time. If I just zone out for 3 days and I miss a big decision or something that's happened, we're fucked. We're fucked. Literally, my whole life would be fucked. And that's the thing. You can't just shut off your phone. But if she understood that and was okay with that, the next time we go to I don't know, I guess, honeymoon. You want to go to New Orleans for the weekend? This is the honeymoon. I could do that. You want to go to Florida? This is the honeymoon. We're going to go visit Glendine in Kentucky? Honeymoon.
Mike, hold on. Ultra Mag Girl 45. You've never flown in a plane? Well, we got to take you up in a plane. I've jumped out of a plane. I've gone skydiving.
Who said that?
Ultra Mag Girl 45. I just seen it.
Well, where you saw it? Where is?
She's like, put in chat. I've never flown. What do you mean? What?
Where?
In the fucking chat. What do you mean where? You got to scroll up. I'm scrolling, looking through comments.
Ultra MAGA. Where's
you don't
Ultra
believe
MAGA
me? I'm
live?
telling you what you just
said.
said.
I do believe you.
So why you got to look for it?
Because I want to know where Ultra MAGA lives. Because we're not flying out to California. She lives in upstate
New York somewhere.
Well, I mean, now you got added expense. I have a motto.
Added expense what? What is your added expense?
You buy, I fly. I'll go pick up George. You got to pay for that. And we'll pick you up in upstate New York.
In the plane?
You got to pay for that leg. And then I got to drop George off and I got to fly home. So you add up the whole time and you buy, I'll fly. You're in. Deal.
Let's see. Let's see what she says. Poor girl, never been on a plane. Never flown. I don't know if you want her first experience to be on a little Cessna. No, you want.
How do you know it's a Cessna?
What is the plane you said you're flying? One prop?
Well, I mean, I've a Cessna 172, Piper Archer.
That's what you said before.
Arrow.
Cessna, didn't you?
But what do you think a small plane is? This is a conversation I have with everybody because I get into all these stories with people. I used to, when I was in the dating scene for years.
Go ahead. You know, little 4-seater things with the one prop? Those are small planes.
Okay.
That's
what? A Cessna's a brand. You know Cessna makes jets, right?
I know.
You do?
I know the Cessna makes jets, but you said you take the one proper thing up, the one up.
There's a lot of one prop plane, single prop, single engine land. That I get arrows, Archers. I've flown them all, but everybody thinks a small plane. I don't know for what reason. It's like Kleenex tissue. Oh, give me a Kleenex. You mean a tissue? This isn't a Kleenex brand. They all think they're a Cessnas. That's a brand. I just did a story of a Cessna crashing the other day. It was a jet, like I don't know how many 8-seater jet. It crashed the other day on the highway. People always assume things. It's like I had a conversation with my buddy David.
So you're gonna take if someone's never been on a plane before in their life, and you're gonna take them up in a plane. You gotta take them up on no, and
I'll
nice
tell you why.
Learjet or something. Something nice, smooth.
No, and I'll tell you why. And I've done this many times. I had a friend of mine who was a lieutenant.
You've done this many times. I gotta talk to your wife Kelly about this. But go ahead.
All right, I've taken up so many people who were deathly afraid of flying. And my lieutenant, this is the best story. My lieutenant from the police department years ago was deathly afraid of flying. And he said to me, he goes, would you mind taking me up? And I said, sure. So we booked a day, calls me the day of and goes, I got to cancel. I'm too much anxiety, this, that, the other thing. I'm like, all right. So I just forgot about it. Then he calls me again. He goes, oh, I'd really like to do that. I was, disappointed. I chickened out. Can we book it again? I'm like, all right. It's your lieutenant, so you don't give him too much crap. So I said, okay. So we booked another day. And then, of course, now one of my attorneys is calling me. This is nonstop today. And then I go, he canceled on me a second time. So I'm like, well, fuck this guy. It's fucking annoying now. So again, now he called a third time and he goes, I'm really sorry, blah, 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 blah. And I said, look, if you're going to come, I said, come. I'm not doing this booking. You're making me look bad because every time you cancel, I go flying by myself because I don't want to be the guy who cancels the damn booking and it's costing me money and you're making me look like an idiot. So he books the third time. And the third time I get a call in the morning from him and I knew it was coming. Oh, here we go. And he goes, I'm not canceling. He goes, but I have to tell you, I did take a Xanax and a sleeping pill just because I'm nervous.
Both?
He goes,
wow.
He goes, are you okay with that? I go, normally, no. Like, normally I'm not going to take some drugged up asshole on the plane. But I said, for you, you're going up today. So I took him up flying and, but I do a little differently, George, because you got to understand that the physics of flight, you got to understand, camber of a wing, why a plane's getting lift. You go into that whole thing. So I'm doing the walk around. I'm doing the pre-flight with him. I'm explaining everything I do, which is what I do when I take anybody up for the first time. I'm explaining how the plane flies and why and what we're doing so you feel comfortable. Then when we get up to level flight, I'm at like 2,500 feet. You want to go flying over his house? Sure, we'll go flying over his house. Can I call my wife? Sure, no problem. He's on the phone. Honey, we're flying over that. Now he's having fun with it. We get up, we level off. I said, you want to fly? And I got the plane trimmed up for level flight. You can't really do much. You could take a 172 when it's trimmed up. You could pull the yoke all the way back. It'll oscillate and then come level again. So I'm letting him make turns and do all this stuff. And when we come into land, it's like I don't know how to describe it, but every airport, there's an airport like a pattern, a traffic pattern, right? So there's a traffic pattern altitude. There's either left pattern or right pattern. And we come in on a 45-degree angle. We hit the downwind and I'm telling him what we're doing. We're at 1,000 feet. We're in a downwind. We're midfield.
And this guy's got his Xanax and sleeping pill in him, right?
He's fine by now. It's kind of worn off in the euphoria of now flying over, the house and, flying a little bit, calling his wife. He's all into it now. So we get to where we're in the pattern. We're on downwind. We turn base, and I'm talking him through the whole thing. Rob set the numbers. We're going to power back to 1,500. We're going to look at flap arc. We're going to first notch of flaps. We're going to turn base. We high, low, fast, or slow. Second notch of flaps. We come in. We turn final. It's aim point airspeed. Now he's looking. We're about to land, and I can see him. He's like, white knuckled in the plane. And we come over the numbers. I flare it off. And I see him like as we land, he's still kind of like this. So I look at him and I'm like, what the fuck? Like I get annoyed. You didn't expect me to land. Now you have questioned my credibility. Now you're challenging my skills. So I push the power in, put the flaps up, and he goes, what are you doing? I said, we're taking off again. So why are you doing that? I said, because I want to show you that we land the exact same way every single time. And we did the exact same thing. All those steps on the pattern came over the numbers, flared, landed. He was so much more comfortable at that point. When we got inside the FBO, he bought a $300 flight kit and started taking lessons that week. This is from a guy who's deathly afraid of flying. And I've done that multiple times with people who just don't understand the physics of flight, the envelope of the plane, what it can and can't do. My first flight, George, when I went up with my instructor, his name was Chuck Taylor, believe it or not. So Chuck Taylor takes me up in 2002. We're up at 3,000 feet, and he says, what do you think would happen if I pulled the power out? I said, I don't know. So he pulls the power out, and to show me that the plane's not going to fall out of the sky. You're trimming it up for level flight. It'll take you 10 minutes to come down from that altitude. So once you understand all that stuff as a novice or somebody who's scared of planes, like Coco, you become,
Coco's scared of planes?
Coco's scared of everything.
Really?
I play stuff. Yeah, I play stuff in the show.
Let's
just
throw a
for
bag
Coco.
over her head and we'll just take her on a plane and wake her up and then
take
she'll
it
be
off
in the air.
Like, we're going 45-degree turns. But do that. Look, I love it. I learned more in flight school than I did. Well, law school is comparable. I have to be honest with you. Law school is very tough. Law school, there's like a lot of new language, a lot of new knowledge that you were like, oh, I thought I knew that, but you learn a lot. But flight school, it was incredible. You learn everything. It's not just flying a plane and physics of flight. It's meteorology. It's radio communications. It's navigation.
So when you're going to take a plane, don't you got to put a flight plan in and stuff, or no? No,
it depends where you're flying. If you're flying, if anything above 17,999 feet is Class A airspace. You got all the airspaces from A, B, C, all the way down to G, which is general airspace. Most airspace in this country is like echo airspace. And in that case, if you're flying what's called VFR or visual flight rules, you only need a couple things. You need clearance of clouds. You need 3 miles visibility. There's a 152 rule when it comes to clouds. And that's pretty much it. So when you're in that type of airspace, no, you're not filing a flight plan. If I was to fly you here, we have controlled airspace around us.
Okay,
but
so there could be two nuts just flying their planes around? And
yes, for the most part, depending on where you are in the country. If you're flying in New Jersey, in this area where I am, because you got Philly, you got Kennedy, LaGuardia, and Newark right to our north, and Philly right to our west. If you can learn to fly in this airspace, you can fly pretty much anywhere in the country, depending on where you're traversing through.
Have you ever had any issues flying with a plane? Mechanical issues?
No mechanical issues.
Let me tell you a crazy story. So my dad, they were going to Teterboro Airport, him and like 3 of their friends. They were taking a plane to go to Atlantic City, right? And the pilot, I don't know what he did trying to start the plane. He forgot to turn something on, right? Killed the battery. Okay. So they jump-started the plane to get it running.
I've had that. I had that happen once.
And still flew with this pilot to Atlantic City.
Yeah, it's fine. And then the alternator will take over and charge the battery.
No, the problem, here's my issue. Yeah, I get that. Same like a car. But here's a guy starting a plane, forgot to turn something on, didn't do his checklist right.
He forgot to turn the master.
I don't think that's a pilot I want flying my plane.
Well, it might not have been his fault. It might have been somebody who left the master on before when that person got out of the plane, and then this person got in, and now it's a dead battery because the master drained it.
No. He was trying to start it, and he did something. No, it was the pilot. He didn't turn something on or whatever.
Well, there's a reason we have checklists, but I had a plane once with a dead battery and we had to get it jumped and it was just fine. I flew that from Marathon in the Keys all the way up to Fort Myers at night in the clouds. That was the one. I had two flight experiences that were a little harrowing. But other than that, I mean, I've 1,000 hours of flying in all these 20 some years. I mean, I used to fly all the time. I fly a lot less now. And I've got 20 hours in rotorcraft too. Nice. Helicopter.
I mean, listen, everything's going to be coming to your own drone flying soon. Drone flying.
Did you hear about that yesterday with Jeb Bush? He was warning Trump. He said he gave him praise for Iran, but was warning him about the drones that are stocked up now in Cuba. There's a lot of these autonomous drone bombs that are now in Cuba that Jeb Bush wanted to.
Are they in Cuba though?
I don't know.
I've heard that like a few months ago. I mean, I don't know. I mean, they're on like total blackout right now.
That's a little racist, George, but I mean,
what's racist?
I just call it out. I don't see color. I don't see color. When it comes to their electricity, if it's not working, I don't see color.
There's a total outage of electricity. That's what you say.
Racist again, George. I don't see color when it comes to things. I don't do that.
You're so full of shit.
Oh, you know me by now. I only do that to point out how ridiculous it is.
When is you, Kelly, wifey, when are we going to lunch again? I know that should be coming up soon.
I don't know. She's like a once a month at that facility, so she's the one who tells you, and then she just tells you got to get up in the morning. Okay, what day? You tell U.S. Saturday or Sunday, and I just figure it out. I mean, we've had fun though. That's gonna get old in the winter though, George, when it's like snow on the ground and it's 10 degrees outside. You're gonna be like, do you want to go to breakfast? I'm gonna go, I don't know. I just want to stay in my bed where it's warm.
Well, hold on. I'm answering something in the chat.
What do you got? I lost you over there.
No, I'm
worked
here.
in machine shops. I'm reading the chat. Ultra Magger Girl, you trying to talk me out of flying, George? You got to come out. I'll fly. You pick the. Tell us what airport you're closest to, and I'll pick up George first, and then we'll do 45-degree turns. I'll do 60-degree turns for you. I went up once. I was doing a commercial ride. I was doing a commercial ride, and I said, the instructor goes, all right, well, we got to do steeper turns than we do in our private check ride. And I go, yeah. So I start doing them at 60 degrees. And he goes, what are you doing? I go 60, right? He goes, no, you only got to do those at 50 for the clearance. And I was like, oh, all right. He goes, but that was pretty good. I was like, oh, let's fucking do 90. Let's go nuts.
She's never been flying. You must be, what are you, like 19, 20 years old? You never been in a plane? She's got to be young. Never been flying.
I mean, I dated a girl once. I don't know how old she is now, but I dated a girl once who was scared of flying and had never been in a plane. And we didn't date for long, if that, tell you anything. Because I'm a pilot and I like to travel. So when I met the girl, I was like, oh God, this ain't gonna work. And then like a week later, I was like, that's definitely not gonna work. And how do you not, like, how are you like 50 years old and have never like seen the world? Don't you have a desire? And that was the other thing too,
no,
George.
you can't say that. Some people just don't have the resources or money to go see the world, Mike. You can't say that. That's not a fair assessment.
In 50 years, you can't save up $300 to take a trip to New Orleans or something, or Florida. I mean,
where the hell is $300 going to get you? Well, a flight, hotel, food. $300.
Somebody's got family that lives in Florida. Go, Bob. Go see Bob. He's got air conditioning now. He'll let you stay at the house.
Not a family want you staying at their house. They'd be like, get a hotel room. We'll just come over later or something.
I mean, what it used to annoy me is when I was in the dating scene, I was starting to tell the story before, and somebody would find out I'm a pilot, and I'd say, yeah, if you want to go up sometime, let me know. And they go,
hold on, you can't expect someone you just started dating to say, oh yeah, I'll go on a plane with you, because that's trust. That is something that's got to be earned, bro.
So here's my thought process, and you set this up perfectly, because they used to say to me, well, I don't really know you that well. And I'd go, well, do you ever get on a Continental flight back then? Or, back then, Eastern Airlines, what about, United flight? And I go, yeah. Well, do you know that pilot when you get on the plane? Do you stop and say, excuse me, Mr. Pilot, I've never met you before. I don't know you, but could you tell me a little bit about yourself before I decide to get in this fucking plane with you? That argument just doesn't hold up. I'm sorry.
I mean, before DEI, I would feel comfortable, because a lot of the pilots, they go through a lot of schooling. They got a lot of hours, a lot of practice, some form of military. Yeah. But here's the thing about trust, what I tell people.
Mm-hmm.
And people's like, oh, I have trust issues. I says, no, you don't. Because I'll say to them, and I'll use this as an example. Do you have a car? And I say, yeah. Do you take it to mechanic, get your car fixed? Yeah. So you trust a mechanic to fix your car correctly, so that when you if you have kids, your family in it, it's going to operate safely for you and your family. You trust somebody that they're going to stop at that stop sign every day or that red light. Look how much trust you put into the world that you don't realize you're doing it.
Kelly had trust issues, but when we got together, for some reason, I don't know, she liked me, so it wasn't a big deal. She went flying. Why. I don't know either. I really don't know. And I mean, if she would have known,
she working?
That's the thing. Right now, she was, and then she had to go to the office.
She'll try to see what's going on. Like,
no, I think she had. I know she had a facility this morning, and then a patient
you and I are up to.
Office. I don't know where she is. I don't even know if she. Well, she knows I was on here. I did tell her.
Aren't you leaving right now to go to DC or wherever you're going?
I'm not telling. Wait, see, we don't
North
like
Carolina?
to advertise where and when we're leaving. But yes,
she gets very mad. You know what's funny? I'm sorry. You're 100% right, because actually, you ever see people that like put everything on their social media? Oh, I'm going to the gym now, and this and that, yada yada yada.
Yes, and it annoys the piss out of me. I'm like, oh, go rob their house now.
I never put my personal stuff on social media. And what just happened recently, the other day actually, Code of Vets, Gretchen, some lady and her husband showed up at her house, drove 6 hours, like stalking her at her house, like tried texting her crazy, scared the shit out of her. Well, guess what? Now she's not going to put her life on social media anymore. She learned her lesson. But
Yeah, it's
Or
we're very careful.
People on
about-
Facebook, they give their location where they're at.
I put a very limited amount of things
I don't
on
do that shit
Facebook.
ever.
I only usually put like I was on I was on Glenn's show the other day, so I posted that on my personal Facebook. I put
You're
the
on a
clips of the show.
but I'm talking about like if you're at a restaurant or this and that, like they give the
No.
location.
I agree with you. I said on Facebook for me, I only put like work stuff or I'm on a show or I'm doing it. We never put like you'll never see us out like, hey, I'm at the Washington Monument. Hey, I'm eating dinner at wherever Peter Luger's. I don't do that. We don't ever. If we do put it on Facebook, it's after the fact. Like even when I go to Yankee camp, like Kelly. First of all, Kelly doesn't want people knowing I'm gone for a week. So she, the show knows a little bit more about what I'm doing, but Kelly doesn't want people that don't, are not in our orbit, or in our orbit, like, nefariously looking at our shit, knowing I'm gone or we're out of the house. We don't want people knowing that shit. So we're very selective about what we put up and when. It is a weird world when you put yourself out there. You know that, George. I mean, anytime you put yourself out there, you make some friends, but then you gotta have your guard up because you don't quite know everybody, and there are people out there who have bad intentions. So
No, there's not people out there with bad intentions. Come on.
I'm just stating the obvious, George.
All right, let's get some. What time you got to leave, by the way?
What time do you want to go to?
Actually, I have actually. You want to know something funny? I have a 1 o'clock casting audition.
You do?
1 o'clock, yeah.
Was that noise for the
No, that was a
casting
video.
audition?
One of the videos I have to show, but
I thought you were making a fun noise for the cast. What are you casting for?
I don't know. So it was like a month ago, 2 months ago. I was at the bank. I actually take my mother to the bank, and they were doing like looking, they have all these lights set up. They were doing a scene. I can't say for what show it is.
Okay.
And I was just talking to them, and I don't know. One of them came up to me. One of the producers, something like, "Oh, you'd be great for coming in as extra, this and that. Yeah, would you do it?" I'm like, "I don't know. It depends how much you paying me or something." So whatever. Gave him information.
I had a friend of mine who did that for years. He was a comedian. He was a small business guy too. Good guy. In fact, he performed with me last year. I had him open for me when I headlined. And he got into the acting world. He was on, I can't tell you how many shows. He's been on Blue Bloods. He's been on, what's that other, Law and Order. He's been on like hundreds of times. So he made a career as an extra actor, getting into the scene with the unions, got a SAG card. I mean, it was crazy. He usually would play a cop. And then it'd be weird because I went to see that movie. It was about 9/11. I think it was Flight 93. Remember the Flight 93 movie or whatever? And I'm in the movie theater and I'm watching and I turn around like, that's Kurt. But I do that all the time now. I was in Savannah for Wake Up Patriots convention. We got off the airplane. We're driving to the hotel in the Uber, and I look up at the billboard, and I go, "Oh, it's my friend John." And I call John. I go, "Did I just see you on a billboard?" He's like, "Yeah." But I love that. One day I'm going to call you up and go, "George, did I just see you in a movie?" And you're like, "Yeah."
Lance did a lot of B acting roles back in the day.
Like, I picture Lance in porn, though. Was it porn?
No, Lance in porn.
I'm just saying. You said B.
Like the B roles, like where the extras, where you got like fighting scenes with a sword or or the armor.
I know what you meant.
Like
it was more fun to picture.
Smart?
It was more fun to picture that maybe it was porn. Not that I would watch it. I'm just saying, you look at somebody sometimes.
I don't know.
Go,
I don't watch gay porn, so I wouldn't know.
Mechanic. You look at somebody sometimes. Pilot. Gay porn. You look at it's kind of like I'm fucking Lance has got to be watching the show, right? He's not in the chat.
No, he's not gonna be in the chat.
I was hoping he's watching.
All right, real quick. You see Mexico, what they're trying to do, these bastards?
No.
So Mexico's government, they're going to file a criminal complaint in the U.S. over Mexican citizens who died in immigration custody.
I did see that.
I mean,
played it.
They're opening up a can of fucking worms here, or Pandora's box. You want to know why?
Why?
Because if they want to do that, then we can open up criminal complaints against the state of Mexico, country Mexico, for allowing their borders to be so open. Hold on, let me finish. Allowing their borders to be, don't be like Lance, bro, please. Allowing their borders to be open, allowing all these drug cartels to bring drugs over, to human smuggling. I mean, there's so much criminal complaints we can bring on them. Go after Scheinbaum, President Scheinbaum. What are you going to say? Go ahead, you can speak now.
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening to that word you said.
Oh, that's like Lance too.
I heard you.
I know you did.
There was a story about a guy in Houston that got killed by ICE, they say. And it was a family, and all the kids were American citizens because they were born here. And the kids are claiming that, you know, he wasn't a nefarious guy. He should have never been killed. And I don't have enough evidence to tell you what. But to your point, it's like, yeah, we've been trying that for years. And we only go after the big ones, and then we wind up having to extradite them. So we still have to find them, even if, you know, if they're going to, the cartel's been killing our kids for years. I don't know. We start a war, but it's like a bullshit political war of words saying, oh, we're mad as hell and we're not going to take it anymore. What are they really going to do?
I don't know. I mean, we should, I don't know why we're not, you know,
you can speak now.
Going into Mexico and just obliterating the cartels. I'm waiting to see what were you going to do with Cuba? Trump said, you know, after Iran, but he actually, with Iran, he just stayed today. They're continuing talking, but he said to them, he goes, the ceasefire is over.
Is over. Yeah. What does that mean, though? We've been hearing the same story, and I'm not picking on Trump.
What story?
I just think the Iran story. I just think it's weird that we are playing this game of insanity where we're doing the same thing over and expecting a different result from a regime who are basically terrorists, which is why we don't negotiate with terrorists in the first place. But who in our orbit, who in our administration is saying, no, but this time maybe they're going to be, you know, like they're not going to change. My wife said, make them into a parking lot. I think she's right. That's probably the only solution.
Smart woman. So, but here's the thing I say, who are you dealing with? Who are you making deal with when you made that first 60, the ceasefire? Because who's running the country? You talk about, you have the president, you have the Ayatollah, but then you have the IGRC.
Yeah.
So who are you making a deal with? Because it seems like if you make a deal with the president or the Ayatollah or whatever, but the IRGC is doing something totally different.
If you have one group in power that thinks they're in power and they're trying to make an agreement with us and they sign on the dotted line, you're going to have another nefarious group that says, let's shoot off a couple bombs and drones because they don't like the other group who made the deal. So you don't really even know what's going on. And then you have that assassination thing where they just said that. Well, Trump just said, this just came out 3 minutes ago. President Trump says if he is taken out by Iran, he has left instructions to bomb them at levels never seen before.
First of all, he's in the United States right now. How is Iran going to take him out? He's got so much security and countermeasures. But, I mean, I give him his balls being over there in Turkey and then, you know, bombing Iran. I don't believe Israel when they're saying this, that, we have information that the Iranians were trying to kill Trump while he was there. I think Israel's just trying to make that shit up, and because, you know, support for Israel has been going sideways. There's so much fighting over Israel this, Israel that. But
I'll tell you this,
I think Israel's a big problem. I think they just need to sit back.
I agree.
And chill out.
I opened my show with this today because if you think about it, all you got to do is kind of put the timeline together, right? Past this prologue, go back to when all that, not when this started, but just think about the last couple of years. Israel's telling everybody, oh, they're going to have a nuclear weapon in 6 months. Then it was, 6 weeks. The next thing you know, we're over there with Midnight Hammer, and we bombed them into what they said was the Stone Age. Then all of a sudden, the Stone Age went to not even a year later, Israel going, hey, you see these guys? They're 6 months away from a nuclear weapon again. Then it was 6 weeks, and then all of a sudden we went to war. So how much influence does Israel really have over our country, and how are we buying into this bullshit? Is it real or is it not real? Because look, if Israel's got such great intelligence that they just stopped an assassination, that they actually have people from the Mossad on the ground, that they know what's going on.
But they didn't know about October 7th. Go ahead.
Either we're really dumb and our intelligence, or we're relying too much on these people, or they're fucking taking us for a ride. And I'm starting to think they're taking us for a ride because it's always Netanyahu saying they're the ones that want us to bomb the shit out of fucking Iran. Everybody knows that. And if Netanyahu has that much influence that all he can do is go, hey, you see what they're doing today? Just see what they said about you. They're going to assassinate you. And that's all it takes for us to react. Then I don't know. We got some kind of issue with Israel. And Glenn Dean just asked in the chat, are we merging our military? I know there's a proposal because they said
I don't know. It's not. I think it's more. Isn't that geared more towards like intelligence or something?
Yes, but it was they are claiming that it's going to take away us investing money, so they're living off of our tax dollars. It's a way for it's just a posturing thing. It's all it is. It's saying, okay, well, fine. We won't take your money, but the money that we use for the military, let's just incorporate our people into the U.S. military.
Let's not say we did. How about that?
Right. Well, let's not do that. And let's also stop giving money to them and let them do their own damn thing. And maybe we can move on from this whole Iran thing. But right now, I mean, and gas prices haven't moved. I checked out this morning again. Still around $71 for the WTI crude.
Bro, when it's right around the corner, gas station was like $3.45. Now it's like hold on. Now it's like $3.70 something. So gas prices move. Oil, the price. Okay, you got to say the price of oil. You got to be specific, buddy.
Okay, oil prices have. I just said WTI, but you kept talking over me and let me finish.
Before.
All right, well, you wouldn't let me finish. They haven't. The gas prices themselves.
I don't want to confuse my listeners.
Haven't moved down to where they should be in line with WTI crude. They stay highly inflated because gas stations know that this volatility in the oil market allows them to keep the prices inflated right now. You don't have to go down. That WTI is going to need to stay down, and the rhetoric on Iran is going to have to dissipate before it finally starts to come down. Plus, we're right in the middle of summer. That's usually when gas prices are at their highest because the usage is always increased.
Scott C., he's on YouTube. He says, Israel is our biggest friend in the entire world. I don't know about that.
Is he being, I
don't know if he's being sarcastic or what, but I don't know.
I don't know. A lot of people are starting to think that that's they might be not our foe, but they've been leading us down a road that's a little tough to come back
Listen,
from.
Netanyahu is so desperately trying to keep all this focus on war, this and that, keep it going, so it keeps the focus off him. Israel trying to get him to go to his court case and trial. That's what he's doing. Because look, Trump even asked the president of Israel, whatever, to pardon Netanyahu.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of people in Israel are fed up with Netanyahu. They want to see him out.
I've always liked him for the record, but lately with this, the way they keep dragging us into. I don't know if it's rhetoric. I don't know if it's real. And I got to trust in our administration knows what the hell's going on, but it seems like it's like a little bit of a dog and pony show.
Yeah. No more wars. I mean, look at Ukraine and freaking Russia. What's going on? How many years is that? 5 years now?
Now and remember the talk when this all started about them. Oh, you can't go into mainland Russia. Don't even think about it. Now, like they're shooting off drones in Moscow like every day. It's the norm, and no one's really talking about it.
No, we've talked about it on the show.
Yeah, but not to the but not to the mainstream's not. It's not like A block, B block. That's
because they're so focused on Iran because Trump started bombing them, so the mainstream media want to do anything to try to discredit Trump and make him look bad. I mean, Trump has nothing to do with Ukraine and Russia. Those two countries need to figure it out. But
figure it out, George. Figure it out.
They got to figure it out. I mean, enough's enough. How much more money we got to keep giving Ukraine? And then we want to teach them how to build Patriot missiles. I'm totally against that.
I know. Did you see that yesterday?
Because you trust Zelensky and Ukraine not to sell that information off to somebody else? Fuck no. No way. That's just dumb.
As long as we don't license the discombobulator. Patriot missiles, it's fine.
No, they won't do that.
Fine.
Discombobulator?
The discombobulator? No, that's a...
Why did they go with the discombobulators into Iran and just go...
I wonder. I really wonder. Like, if you put that in Tehran and discombobulate everybody, eventually they'll be like, no. I mean, do it during prayer, too. Do it right during prayer.
We have the ability to, through a computer, we could shut down their whole grid.
Mm-hmm.
And make it...
Yeah, so why do we threaten that we have to bomb it?
Make it total, like, no electricity. I can't say... out because he says it's racist, but
true. That is true. I don't see color when
I'm
it
not
comes
racist,
to,
bro. I hate everyone. Just so you know.
I only say it to point out how ridiculous it is because all these people are like, oh, men working sign is horrible. What? So I always say, well, what's next? You can't say menopause. It's they-a-pause. I had a good one.
So are they taking away Black Friday?
That is, yeah. I only call it Friday. And by the way, anybody. Here's the thing that I came up with on my show. I don't know if you heard this. But when you were in school and I had like art class in kindergarten or whatever, they would tell you on the color wheel that black absorbs all colors and doesn't reflect any color. But white is a reflection of all colors. So technically you and I are people of color. We're people of many colors. And black people are people of no color. So there you go. Scientifically.
That's scientifically?
I'm just saying, if you want to make an argument. I found a Gruden the other day. I was in the Target and I saw Mr. Coffee. And I said to Kelly, I go, what's next? They coffee?
You're stupid.
Well, you don't want to offend any. God forbid we offend somebody with Mr. Coffee. Come get they coffee at Target, or them coffee works just as well.
When you look at the coffee, it is black looking, so black coffee.
Again, I don't see color, George. It's a coffee of no color. It's black. It absorbs all the color.
So what you're saying is if you mention any color, it'd be racist.
I only bring it up because it's ridiculous that we live in this world.
Because if you say, blue or pink, but wait, that could be part of the rainbow. You could be offending somebody else.
I agree. I totally agree.
I mean, I love rainbows when they were just rainbows. Now they fucked it all up. The
I tell you now with that stupid, I know every time I see a rainbow now, I think there's like, there's a trans person at one end and a pot of gold at the other. I don't want to pick an end.
There's no pot of gold at either end. There's just either trans and crazy.
Well, what if there was? I'd be nervous to go, I don't pick an end. Shit, what if I pick the wrong side? I might not wind up with the pot of gold. I wind up with the anyway. I just point out how ridiculous the hypocrisy is. Everybody's got something to say, and it's so stupid now. So I point it out because it's just dumb. It's true. I own, I have two Jeeps. I have a white one and a black one because I don't see color. I'm not racist. And then I always say the black one, sometimes it doesn't start. It doesn't always work. The white one, usually I have no problems.
Because somebody just put it in the chat. Black is my favorite color. People like wearing black because it covers a lot or hides a lot.
Yeah.
No pun intended there. In the chat.
My dog is black, white, and brown. He's a dog of.
He's a mutt.
He's a good boy. He's a Min Pin Basenji mix.
What the hell is that?
Min Pin miniature pincher, and Basenji is like a. I didn't know what a Basenji was until Kelly introduced that to me, and then you look up a Basenji and they don't bark. And when we got Vin, he didn't bark for years, like years. He just never barked.
Wait, black. Black, white, and gray are shades, not colors.
Well, there you go. See, now we're talking racism again. See, now then it's all about color again. He doesn't see color either. My dog is colorblind, as are most dogs, from what I'm told. I always wondered if I could see what my dog saw. I wish I could see through their eyes just for a day or a minute, not a whole day. Would freak me out. Anyway,
I didn't know dogs are colorblind.
I don't know. They say that, right? Because it's the cones and the rods in the eyes. Which one picks up the colors? Is it the rods and the I forget which one.
What color is your car, Mike?
I have a white Jeep and a black Jeep.
You can't say that though. You have to come up with something different because that could be racist.
Jeeps. They're just Jeeps. I don't see color.
So if a cop pulls you over and tries to identify, puts a color, say you have this color. I said, no, that's racist, bro. You can't say color in my car.
That's right.
Anybody gets pulled over, start saying that. See what the cop says.
I'm going to say, what color am I now?
Non-binary. I don't know.
Non. Well, I mean, if there are 100 different genders now, and, who's to say my car is black? What if it's off black? What if it's, I don't know, a shade of gray that you don't recognize because you don't have as many cones or rods in your eye? I don't know.
You remember when you had all these, like, I don't know, the kids or whatever, kids, teenagers, in some of the schools are identifying as a cat or this and that.
Yep.
How come they didn't say, well, no animals are allowed in the school and you have to be neutered and all or spaded?
How dumb are we that do we accept this stuff? Like when you're in kindergarten and first grade, second grade, and a kid wants to do that. And they go, no, Johnny can think and be whatever he wants. Well, Johnny's going to grow up to be fucked up. And then Johnny's going to grow up to be a Democrat and vote and turn the country into shit. We need to set Johnny straight. The whole school thing, like I am such an advocate now for homeschooling. Years ago when someone told me they were homeschooled, oh boy, now you're like, good. I think homeschooling is smart.
But hold on. I have a question. So, and let's say the person that's going to be homeschooling the kids is not really well educated.
Mm.
Then what?
Have you seen some of the teachers out there in the world? You're worried about parent being less educated. Curious. I'm not worried. If you've seen what goes on in the NJEA, George, I'm not so worried about that. Most of our teachers are, they're indoctrinated.
They have programs if you want to homeschool your kids, you can get to follow and stuff to help teach kids.
Okay, great. I mean, that's good. So they understand curriculum and at least what the state wants them or whatever. But at least you're not putting a spin on it like some of these idiots in the NJEA. I'm not bashing all teachers. I know a lot of teachers, and I give teachers a bad rap, but they get a bad rap because of the union in New Jersey. They're not getting a bad rap for them. Although, like my niece, she just turned 26. She's got her master's. She's going for her doctorate now. She's a teacher, and I watched this girl. My niece is a wonderful woman, but I watched her turn more progressive as time went on, and we'll have arguments now. And then of course at the end of the argument, I'm thinking,
she was very intelligent, then she got dumb. Is that what you're saying? I mean, I hate to say that. I love my niece, but like she bought into a lot of the bullshit. We were arguing about the Constitution one day, and she goes, "Well, I'm progressive," and I go, "No, you're not." I said to her, I go, "Do you even know what that word means?" And she goes, "Well, progress." I said, "No, it doesn't mean progress. It means to progress away from the Constitution." I said, "Conservative just means to conserve the original values of the Constitution." Then, of course, she started a circular argument. Well, the Constitution was written 250 years ago by old white men. I go, well, first of all, they weren't all old. Some of them were like 32 years old. I mean, one guy was like 26, I think, but that's not the point. It goes back to Saul Alinsky's rules for radicals. You call your opponent what you are, and then they have to defend it. And it's always a distraction. It's always a circular argument. They never really understand what they're talking about, but yet she's teaching kids. And if I realize that she has no idea what she's talking about, even with a simple conversation like me, do I worry about her indoctrinating I wonder what your niece thinks, like what in the Constitution, does she think that it should be rewritten or?
Yes, but we never got that far.
I'm just curious, like to know, because
you can't get into specifics with them. They don't know.
Look at the 43-year-old lady who was all, pro-Palestine, get rid of ICE. She ran off with some Palestinian in Ireland where he murdered her. Yeah,
I guess she learned the hard way.
She's learning the hard way. Her poor kid found her dead. Like, come on, man.
Well, look, I hate to say it, because, I don't want to be a sociopath, but at the end of the day, it is survival of the fittest, right? That's why I said to you before, like, we're always trying to, enlighten everybody and teach them and smarten them up. But I mean, maybe it ain't such a bad thing if they all wind up running off to Palestine and getting killed because,
this is Ireland,
like, hey, or wherever the hell they go. I mean, I'm not. I used to think, George, that we needed to kind of like lift everybody up and fix the world, and now I'm at a point where we're in a battle with IQ. We're in a battle with stupidity, and you can't fix stupid. So it's like, if you want to go that way, go nuts. I'm fine having an audience of people who are like-minded where we can come together and at least make fun of this stuff, learn a couple things along the way. I've given up the notion that we're going to fix the world and we're going to enlighten everybody.
Well, here's the thing. You can't fix the world until you fix yourself. So it's like the thing where a person, they want to try to help everybody else and not help themselves because it takes the focus off themselves, and they don't want to have the knowledge or deal with their own problems and fix. You can't truly love somebody until you love yourself first. Sure.
Yeah,
so if you don't love yourself, you can't really truly love anybody else.
Yeah, you're right. You gotta. It's a mental attitude. It's a positivity thing. But when you look at these people on the left, they're the most unpositive people you've ever met. They're the most. You started the show off with it. The study's showing that they're fucking nuts. They've gone nuts. We're literally trying to enlighten. We're trying to educate people who will never get it. They're not happy with themselves. They hate the world. They want to bring that hate out and make everybody as miserable as them. It was like the thing with when we were talking about gay marriage, right? I mean, that was the old joke when they were trying to debate whether gay marriage was okay. And those of us who were married were like, they want to be as miserable as us? Let them have it. We don't care. Well, it's fine. I'm kidding, of course, if Kelly's listening. I'm only kidding, honey. We'll go on a honeymoon soon, I promise. But
she's probably like, she's sending messages. We gotta go, man. Let's wrap this shit up. So listen, I didn't say this, but US Abby girl, your niece sounds racist. Old white men.
She is. They think we're racist, right. But she is right, because it's always the people that use the word that are actually the ones who are racist. You know that. I don't have to see that. US Abby girl.
All you got to tell your niece is those supposedly old white men are the reason that you are freely here getting your fucking education and being able to talk about what you need to.
They don't. It's funny.
Where is this niece? Is she in Jersey?
No, she's in South Carolina now. Oh. We're 250 years out, right? And it's a long time. Like most people are only remembered for like 2 generations. Like you remember your parents, you remember your grandparents, your grandparents vaguely. Beyond that, you're not going to remember. You don't know their life story. You don't know what they went through. It is very easy to lose sight of things. Take 9/11, for example. I mean, that only happened almost 25 years ago. And we just elected one of the guys who could have been in one of the planes with the box cutters bombing the buildings. And he's now a communist running the city of New York. People have very short-term memories. I'm worried about it. Somebody asked me this on a radio show yesterday. I did Lance, and then I was on with Glenn Curry at WATN. And he said, Mike, do you think it's going to get worse or better? I go, worse. I didn't even hesitate. You think about where we were, just 20 years ago, 40 years ago, 10 years ago, and how bad it's gotten with social media, with keyboard warriors, with everybody kind of doing their own thing, with China making their kids do STEM on TikTok versus our kids who are just scrolling, nothing all fucking day. It's going to get worse. We're dumbing down society. The collective IQ in this country is diminishing as we speak, and you can see it. And when the lefties have a voice, you didn't need 50% of people going in one direction to make it that way. You only needed 3 to 6% in Nazi Germany. You only needed a very small percentage during COVID to make the entire country go on lockdown and wear masks. If now you have 50% of the country going in this ridiculous direction, it's only going to get worse from here. God help us, George. Let's find an island, move there, and we'll die peacefully away from the nonsense.
Yeah. Ultra MAGA girl, when you're working on the road with your flag, have 2 lanes, one for Democrats, one for Republicans. Democrats, just make them wait longer or divert them to it somewhere to get them lost.
You know what the worst ones are, George? You ever gone on the highway and it's always the people driving in the middle that are the worst ones. They're just going real slow in the middle because they haven't made a decision yet. I don't know. It kind of reminds me of politics.
We got the craziest drivers in Jersey, though. Nobody drives better than us.
Florida's crazier. When I lived in Florida, no, Florida's by
drivers?
far. Yeah, I've lived
no
in New
one's
Jersey
better
my whole
drivers than
life,
us,
except for a couple of years in Florida. But I still have a place in Florida. But when you're in Florida on the highway on 95 or one of the 75, pick a highway in Florida. Holy shit! They put Jersey drivers to shame. They're just going 1,000 miles an hour down around. I'm like, holy fuck! There's some fucking crazy accidents in Florida. People drive like maniacs down there. I think it's because they're all old white women, which encompasses most of my audience.
That's really racist right there. Why can't it just be old women? Why do you have to specify white?
Because I have to give them a visual. It's old white women.
Very
Everybody
racist,
knows
Mike. I don't know, man.
Except Janet. Janet's not an old white woman. Janet, that's U.S. Abbey girl. We're on the same page. We get it. Skunk, we're on the same page. Craig Muttley, he's an old white woman. We're on the same page. He says, have a great weekend. Be blessed. Be a blessing.
Craig, yeah, have a good weekend. Actually, we're going to close that. The worst drivers have Kansas plates.
I wouldn't know that.
You know who had bad drivers? When I was in California. When I was out there, if it rained a little bit, there'd be so many accidents. They just don't know how to drive. Anyways, we're going to close out. It's the weekend. It's Friday. I don't have a tagline for Friday. We got one for every day except Friday. Freaky Fridays, I think that's what it is. All right, Ultra MAGA girl, get your bikinis ready. We're going to go to Florida. Fuck it. Going to Florida.
Things like you two are going on a honeymoon.
No, not honeymoon.
Yeah, you and Ultra MAGA girl going on a honeymoon.
No honeymoon here.
Right.
Jumping the gun there, Mike. How are you going to tell anybody to go on a honeymoon when you haven't gone on yourself? That's what we were talking about earlier. Trying to fix everybody else, and you got to fix yourself. Do your own honeymoon, buddy.
She just doesn't know it yet. Whole life's been a honeymoon.
All right, y'all. Mike, it's always a pleasure.
My pleasure, buddy.
Maybe we just gotta. Next time we do this, I'll have Lance think he's coming on, but I won't bring him onto the show. I'll just kick him out of Zoom.
Telling me
sick.
No, Lance, we canceled Friday. Don't you
remember?
What
do you think? Everybody chat. Oh, should we just do me and Schwartz every other week? Leave Lance out of it? Let's see what the chat has to say. Chat's going to rule this right here.
Great show, George. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, chat, for hanging out today. Have a great weekend. That's Skunk. Ready to go, George. Ultra MAGA girl's ready to go on your honeymoon.
Let's go.
Rocking and rolling.
Everybody's like, they don't. Poor Lance.
Don't
Poor
forget
Lancey Lance, huh? All right, Mike.
Thanks,
let me know when we're going to talk to Kelly. Let me know.
I will. I'll talk to her today when we're on the road, even though no one's supposed to know we're on the road. I'll talk to her.
I mean, you're going on the road. It's not a big deal. You've talked about when you're going to Florida, this and that. So
yeah, but
you're not specify exactly where you're going to be.
Well,
you're driving. You're on the road. I'll be on the road later. Big fucking deal. Where I'm going, nobody's going to know.
But I'll be back tomorrow. So there you go.
Tomorrow. I love you tomorrow.
Let's
All right.
hope Lance feels better soon. Coco says that as well. And on
Yeah, I hope he
George,
feels better
I
too.
always appreciate you having me on, buddy. Thanks so much.
It's always a pleasure. You guys have a blessed weekend. I love you guys. Peace out. Florida, here we come.
What if you could predict your financial future? And what if you could trade on it? Introducing Block Trust IRA, the future in your hands. An astonishing 88,000 millionaires were created last year from the Bitcoin boom, and you could be next. Block Trust IRA is the only crypto management firm powered by AI-driven strategies, ranked #1 in the world by Bitcoin Magazine. The Block Trust IRA platform is built for everyone, from first-time buyers to seasoned investors. Predictive AI technology that was once only reserved for insiders and elites is now available to you. It's time to leave the old buy and hold strategies behind. Your assets are protected with military-grade security, offline cold storage, and $200 million in insurance. Visit BlockTrustIRA.com to book your free consultation and ask how to claim up to $2,500 in deposit bonuses today. Bitcoin changed the game. AI changes the strategy.
In a world of uncertainty, be prepared with Silver Prepper Bars, your ultimate hedge against political instability and economic turmoil. Introducing the Silver Prepper Bar, crafted from 0.999 pure silver and proudly made in the USA. This tangible, divisible asset can come in handy even in the toughest of times. Portable, perforated, and easily tradable, the Silver Prepper Bar is your lifeline in times of crisis. When facing inflation, currency devaluation, and financial meltdown, Silver Prepper Bars provide peace of mind. Don't wait for disaster to strike. Secure your future today with the exclusive Silver Prepper Bar, the only silver bar on the market divisible into 3 different size pieces for maximum utility, all while fitting in your wallet. Don't leave your future to chance. Order your Silver Prepper Bars now at prepperbar.com. Silver Prepper Bars, ready for whatever tomorrow brings. Order now.
Forged through rigorous training and honed by the finest instructors on earth, these canine units serve beside our nation's warriors as they fight to preserve what we cherish. When these warriors complete their duty, the Warrior Dog Foundation provides them with a home deserving of the service they've given us all. At our state-of-the-art kennels, they receive rehabilitation and care suitable for heroes, because that's what they are. Be a part of giving them a future today. Visit warriordogfoundation.org.